Pete, a breathless match today, 34-29 win, which seals a playoff place for the very first time in our history. You must be a proud man tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 10 months in the making. I think 10 months and 2 days. Something I said to the boys before the game. A lot of hard work's gone into it. Came down to today, and we had some nervous moments in that game, but ultimately the second half with the wind at our backs has been a good friend to us this year, and it certainly was in that second half. We ran in some excellent tries, some nails bitten down to the bone, but ultimately we came out on top, which is brilliant.
Talk us through that start, that whirlwind start, when their hooker Sean Moulton scored under the post in I think 90 seconds, and then we went out the other end about a minute later and Peter Lydon scores.
Well, you know, for a game with so much riding on it, it was such a bizarre start. A dreadful kick from Pete Lydon, you know, and probably 30 seconds after the kick-off, we're 7-0 down, and you know, a lot of what's been said before the game almost goes out the window then, because you're fighting an uphill battle. But the boys came straight back, and Pete wrote the wrongs, put a high ball up, no one claimed it, and he went 30 metres and scored. And you know, within 2 minutes there was 2 tries scored, and yeah, bizarre game, bizarre. Lots of tries. You know, Nottingham full value, and showed why they're, you know, a top team in this league. And I think, although disappointed they lost the game, they go away with 2 points to contribute to their tally, and they've got a big game against Rotherham next week to probably decide the last spot in the playoffs. But they were full value today. I think scoring 5 tries of their own, contributed on a sunny day, a blustery day but sunny day. A quality game, and you know, we showed our true mettle, as I mentioned, in the second half, because it was a bit glum at half time, 12 points down, but we knew with the win behind us, Nottingham can be susceptible in that latter stage, and we scored some wonderful tries.
All the hard work the guys put in, Tim Harper, head of performance, puts in with the guys, really puts them through the paces in pre-season, and time and again in the second half, so last quarter we come out on top, and it's got us into the playoffs.
Yeah, it has. But you know, I think we're going to have to be far better for the first 60 when we come up against, you know, 2 trips to Yorkshire in the next 2 weeks, and then into the playoffs, whether it be Bristol or Worcester. You know, both quality teams. We're going to have to be better than perhaps we were today at times. But you know, we can take a lot of heart from some of the attack today. You know, guys like James Phillips putting a big shift. I thought Matt Williams on the wing got man of the match, and rightly so. He was just a different level today. Played brilliantly, and if we can unleash him, you know, against those bigger teams, he can cause anyone damage. You've seen against Worcester and Bristol how devastating he's been. So, you know, if we put the bits and bobs together of our game for 80 minutes, I'm sure we can beat anyone in the league. But that's a challenge to put it all together. But you know, on today, it's what a great achievement for the club. It's a lot of hard work gone into it, some ups and downs, some slippery moments. We've had some slippery moments over the last couple of weeks, you know, jolting here to Doncaster 3 weeks ago, I think, on Friday night, and then taking a hiding from Worcester last week. But you know, we dusted ourselves down today and come back fighting, and got what we deserved. I think that's the reality. Across the season, you get what you deserve, and currently we're sitting in 3rd place, and that's a good place to be.
How key was it actually at the start of the second half, when they were right in our line, and they could have gone there already 12 points ahead? They couldn't have gone even further ahead with another try, but then we won a penalty, I think maybe a turnover right in our line, and then we went out the other end and scored.
Well, comedy of errors, I think. You know, again, a couple of dodgy passes down in this corner, and you know, for all intents and purposes, Nottingham should have scored in the corner. But you know, as we missed a couple of opportunities, that was definitely an opportunity missed by them, and to double up the error, they give away a penalty on our line when surely another phase and they probably will have crossed for another try, and that would have put almost a 20-point margin between the teams, and that would have been a tough battle. But you know, you ride your luck sometimes. I think both teams were close at times to yellow cards. Dean Richards is a very good ref and let the game flow. You know, there was some very tough moments in there for both teams, but full value. I'm sure the crowd, you know, you come to see a game with 60+ points, 11 tries, that's kind of what you want in April, isn't it?
Yeah. So Peter Lydon went over, Matt Williams went over, Mark Bryce got a brace, but our 2 friends from the Southern Hemisphere, the 2 centres, Kieran Moffat and Matt Hawkes. Matt Hawkes, what a try. That was arguably one of the tries of the season.
Well, he's going to be talking about that for a while. No one knew he had that sort of pace, but I think he beat a tight head prop and a hooker to go in. but those numbers will change, I'm sure. But yeah, look, when we did unleash in that second half, the crowd were jumping. I'm stood up in the stand. I was jumping up and down, but with the rest of the crowd, we really put together some really entertaining tries. And actually, what's pleasing is that's what we've been working on for 2 weeks over there on pitch 7, and we put it into practice. And again, in the first half, we had to struggle to break Nottingham down at times, but in the second, when they're tired, that attacking threat came to the fore, and scored some brilliant tries. So yeah, Kieran Moffat, probably not his best day at the office he's ever had, but going over for a try and shared about. Obviously Brighty went over for 2, but that's always a result of 7 other lads' hard work, and he's just dotting the ball down at the back. So he clocks another 2 onto his enormous tally for the season. But ultimately, what it does is give us 2 tries in this game and the bonus point win. So everyone's a happy bunny. We've got some stuff to work on. We've got a tough game in Leeds next week. We want to go and win the game, absolutely. We go up there as strong as we can to try and win the game and continue momentum. That's going to be key, I think, moving into the playoffs, that we got momentum. We don't want to be going off the back of 2 losses to play one of the top 2 teams in the league. So we've got a tough battle. Leeds are a quality outfit, pushed us hard here, back in January. But I think the boys and the coaches will enjoy the weekend.
Couple more questions. Just finally, it's great that PG Gidlow and Chevy Pennicote are going to be probably introduced in the next couple of weeks. Great timing to have them available potentially for the playoffs. That's
it. As many as the first team possible for selection. It's going to be tough getting into that starting team. But guys like Chevy, PJ stood right behind us. Quality players, so they'll want a piece of that. They'll have an opportunity, I'm sure, over the next 2 weeks to put their hand up in one of those games and see where we stand before the playoffs.
It's either Bristol or Worcester in the playoffs. Who would you prefer?
Well, it's irrelevant really. It's not, that fixture between the 2 of them on the last day of the season is a hell of a game. I think winner goes top, and we don't know whether we're going to finish 3rd or 4th just quite yet. So I mean, it's all going to come down probably to the final weekend as to who we're going to play. So we'll just have to wait and see at 5 o'clock on Saturday in a fortnight, and then we'll prepare as best we can for the opposition we get. And I'd like to think we give it our all and see what we can get out of it.
Well, the season's not over yet, but on behalf of everyone and the fans, congratulations on history being made today, and enjoy your night.
Thanks very much, Andy.